Hey guys, wanted to get this quick video out to you guys. Nothing's changed other than the price continues to drop, and so volume was very light over the weekend, and so now that we're back, what we're looking for is volume, volume, volume. And if volume does not come in, then we need to look a little bit deeper here and figure out what is it that we need to do. And so let's take a dive. 12 hours still downtrending, still below the SMA, still below super trend. Same thing for 4 hours, and 4 hours still below. Yeah, so still below, and it looks like a little bit of life is coming, but we need volume. The volume is really look at the volume over the last few days. Look at the volume compared to where the volume was here. So we need volume, and we need it on the buy side, which is going to be tough given these levels. So let's look to see what could happen today and what are we looking for. So we are in that buy zone area that we talked about. We really want to be more on the low end, but the question is how low will it go? How low can it go? There is a point in which it doesn't make sense for the people that are selling to sell. So I think it's just a matter of getting to that point. But right now, we still continue to have some significant selling pressure over the weekend. We are going to our support areas, playing around with it, and then going to the next support area, playing around with it, and dropping down to the next support area, playing around with it. So to me, this little step down is there's a massive selling pressure, and so we need to kind of be a little careful in regards to the dips here. So I executed my strategy, and I entered I think around here. Yeah, around here below the 15 line, and so now I'm waiting it. So my commitment was one BNB for the week, and now I'm done. And so at the end of the day, right now, I need to see something that will make me want to pull in next week's BNB. And it's because I don't want to throw everything at it right here. That's not the level for that because I think that I get a lot of comments of a lot of people that rode this ride down, right, and that are in, serious pain. So I know that they're not selling. It's these folks over here, right, that rode that wave up and now are trying to figure out what they want to do. Is the question is how low of a profit are they going to go and continue with the selling pressure before it turns back up? And that, my friend, we do not have a crystal ball. We do not know. And so what we look to do is look to see areas of support and resistance that make sense for what we want to do or what I want to do. Again, not giving you financial advice, but you need to figure out where along this graph, this curve, you're comfortable with. And so for me, again, not giving financial advice, I look at it as what can I afford to put here? And to me, for this account, it's one BNB a week. And so I made a commitment that I like the upside potential, but there's a ton of down pressure in terms of selling pressure. And so there could be various reasons for why we have such selling pressure. And what I decided to do today is I am going to make another video later this afternoon or this evening and just walking through the website, walking through the fundamentals and statistics of Hodl token, and just kind of giving you guys a little bit more insight in terms of what the website is showing, and so why some folks might be a little concerned. And so again, I got feedback that to kind of do a little bit more of a balance on the bear side. So the bears, I'm gonna give you a little bit of opportunity today. So later today, I will put out a video on what the bears are looking at and why do we think that there's so much selling pressure. But right now, I think that when you look at, there's a couple of things that need to happen. But when you look at this, these are the levels which I'm going to continue to watch and see what price does. But it does get a little bit concerning to see that folks are, that we're going through these support areas relatively quickly, right? So we're not even making an attempt to go higher. We're just bouncing around and then going lower, bouncing around and then going lower. There is no real any buying strength. There's been no change since back here, since July 1st. So we've been on the down. So I need to see some signs of buying. I need to see the volume bounce off support and go up. And until then, it's still bearish. And so that's for that reason, I am going to maximize my amount of tokens I purchase and really monitoring it and really not definitely I met my quota for this week in terms of BNB. But so what would get me to get another BNB worth is if we dive down here, come back above the trend, then that would be compelling for me to do. That's well in my buy zone. That's very compelling for me to do because as you scale in, as I scale in, I always want to say like I put a small amount in and then I wait to see what the market does because if I throw everything in and the market goes against me, then I'm underwater significantly. I always want to make sure that I'm lowering my average purchase cost, or my, as people call it, dollar cost averaging. But right now, we today is all the markets are open. We need to see volume. It's all about volume, 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 and so we're going to keep an eye out for volume because every single time there's a little bit of a pop up, it comes right back down. The sellers come in, the sellers or bears come in. So right now we need to see some buying before we make any more commitments. So we're right around where we made our commitment. Actually, we got in around right here. And so we're a little bit down from that. And so if we're going to get any deeper, if I'm going to get any deeper on this, we need to see some signs of life before we go any deeper. So these are the next levels I will be watching to see what happens. And this was that flash down that was, man, again, could you imagine if you got in around this area? You'd still be up right now with everything that's going on. But at the same time, those folks that did, to see your account go up that much, yeah, they're selling. So yeah, I could see that. And so could you imagine, let's say you got in over here and you saw it go 155, what is that, 155%? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think that whole move was probably like 200%. And so that's a pretty good thing. That over takes the taxes, that's for sure. But yeah, so people got in around there and they're taking profits up here, or people that were in earlier on are taking profits. So let's see where the bottom settles in. So right now, this should have been a good resting spot. It was for a little bit. Now this resting spot, which is pretty weak in terms of support area. It's pretty weak, but we're floating around that and we're consolidating around it. So let's see what happens. And this is pretty weak as well. But when you start to go down here, we start to get to a very tough spot, right? So it's tough to see a lot of people seeing that and then trying to take profit down at these levels. But let's watch. So this week we're satisfied for this week. Let's see if there's any significant movements that convince us that we need to get more. But right now, for me, I want to see signs of life with the volume coming today. This week is all about volume and the buyers coming out. And if the buyers don't come out, then let's reassess our plan and then let's figure out what we want to do. Yeah, so that's the plan. That's the goal for me at least today is to look for volume, look for signs of life that we are turning around. And so once we see that, then we'll start to kind of understand that things are there. But if we continue to keep stepping down to these support levels and resting and continue going lower, then we need to figure out a timing of what's best for us. And this is where the calculations come in, because one BNB up here or even here uh, doesn't get you as much as down here or down here, because that would be massive to be able to average. I would definitely continue on and say at these levels, yeah, it's a no-brainer for me because again, I'm here long term for this project, really believe in this project. So yes, looking for opportunities to get as much tokens as possible. So this was a little bit longer video, but today what we need is volume, 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 and we need to see signs of life with the price going reversing, similar to what it did back here. Came down, so maybe they will have another flush down, get all those sellers out, pop right back up, and then continue on our way up. So this is around the area that started to happen last time, but this was Bitcoin related. I think in every token or every coin experienced this, and then it popped back up. So let's see what happens today. Again, today's word is volume, volume, volume. Thank you for watching.